It's summer, and that means that you probably know or live with a recent graduate or another family member who's looking for ways to make a little bit of cash.
Yes, marketing expert Olala Jenga joins us to make the most of summertime help and keep the peace in the family. This is very close to your heart, isn't it?
Yeah, just a little close. For me personally, because my daughter is temping for one of my clients, and she looks just like me. So when I go in and I see her little face a couple times a week, and the first time she said, "Hi, Mom," I just nearly died. Oh. So we needed to have a little chat about expectations and what to call me and what I should call you and what not to talk about. So it's one of those areas that gets really blurry for people if they don't have a little chat before they start either hiring or lending out, you know, their kids to people in the neighborhood or who have home offices and things like that.
But it can be done,
Absolutely.
Right? It's a good idea?
I think it's a really good idea. How you do it is really important. You have to set expectations about what you need, what you expect, what the protocol is going to be, how you're going to coordinate communication. If you're kind of old school and you think someone's going to show up every day at 9 o'clock and that person rolls out of bed at 10:30, and you know, you need to talk about stuff like that because it's a different generation and they have different understandings about what the modern workday looks like. So,
well, one thing you haven't talked about yet is your daughter's wardrobe.
Oh.
Have you had to have a lot of influence into how she presents herself?
Lindsay's actually pretty good, but we did have to have a little chat about the lengths of things and certain types of fabrics, and especially where she sits, where people kind of stand over. So she had to be cognizant of
V-necks.
Yes, let's just call it necklines in general.
That's a nice way to put that.
So what are reasonable expectations if, say, I help my cousin get a job with somebody I know?
Okay. Is to really sit down and talk about what's the win-win. So the person doing the hiring should have an understanding about that person bringing fresh energy and fresh thinking. So don't think that that person is going to come in and just do things your way. That's why you hire young people, so that they can come in and have a fresh approach to what you're doing and have some flexibility and some patience. They don't know what we know. Completely different generation. So they're not coming to the workplace thinking anything other than what they know. And it might not be a whole lot if all they've ever seen is the checkout girl at the Walmart, and that's not the best example of how things should be done. Sorry, Walmart.
No offense.
No offense.
Well, let me ask you this. So what's the best way if it's not working out? How do you handle it?
Ooh, you really have to have that conversation up front. It's like, you know, where's the no-no line, right? If it's not working out, do you talk to the parent first? Do you pull the person aside? It really depends on your nature of the relationship. So if it's your own kid, you got to take off the mom or the dad hat and sit down and talk to them like their boss, which they're not going to be real super keen on. If it's like your niece or your nephew or your best friend's kid, you might want to have a chat with them first about what you expected and see if you can get that person on board to help correct the behavior, and then talk about how to best transition that person out. We don't want to deflate young people's egos. You know, they're coming to the workforce, they're trying to make a little cash. We want them to have a good experience. We don't want them to ruin our businesses in the process, but we want it to be a good experience for everybody.
Olala, great advice as always. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Watch those necklines.
Yeah.